Hi ESCOM, welcome once again to ESCOM Encouragement Series. My name is Derek. I would like to share with you from the Bible, John chapter 11 verse 5 and 6. I'll read the verse right now. Now Jesus loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus. So when he heard that Lazarus was ill, he stayed 2 days longer in the place where he was. This is taken from part of the section where it talks about Jesus raising Lazarus from the dead. We all know the story and are very familiar with the story. I'll just quickly give the recap. So Jesus and the three brothers and sisters are very close. Jesus loved them very much. I said in verse 5, Martha and his sister and Lazarus, Jesus loved very much. And Lazarus was ill. And when Lazarus was ill and Jesus heard that Lazarus was ill, he stayed 2 days longer in the place where he was. 2 whole days. We know 48 hours. We know that when somebody gets sick, time is of essence. And in this case, Lazarus was ill to the point of death, but Jesus stayed in the place where he was 2 days longer. We all know what happened afterwards, obviously, because after Lazarus died, Jesus went to where Lazarus was and raised him from the dead. So why did Jesus wait for 2 days? Practically speaking, the reason why Jesus stayed for 2 days was that we know that in order for a person in order to raise a person from the dead, we need to know that the person has died already. People from the warm climate country would know that food spoils very easily if you don't put it in the fridge. In Canada, because it's cooler and drier, our food can stay on the table for maybe even 24 hours and doesn't get spoiled. But if you're in very humid and hot countries, the food can spoil on the table without refrigeration very, very quickly. So is the dead body. When a person dies, in those days, we don't have high tech to discover if a person is dead or not. We don't have a stethoscope. But we know that if you have a dead body, you leave it for 2 days, it will smell. And we already know in this passage that when Jesus went to the tomb, they were warning him that it will smell so badly because Lazarus was dead for 2 days already. We know reason why Jesus stayed for 2 days in the place where he was, because it is so that one of the greatest miracles Jesus performed when he was on this earth would be performed. But the problem for Mary and Martha at that time in verse 6 is very confusing. Here is Jesus who is very close to them, and when Lazarus was sick, Jesus chose to stay in that place for 2 days more. That must have been 2 long days. And I'm sure the two sisters were saying, "Where is Jesus? We asked him to come, he didn't listen to us. It would make sense if we just run. If he's that good friend of ours, he should run and come and heal him right away." We know that if Jesus has done that, he would not have performed a greater miracle. He already healed people, sick people, but he's never raised a person from the dead. A greater miracle has not happened. If Jesus have done the common sense thing, if Jesus has done a thing that Mary and Martha expect him to do, or what the other people expect him to do, then a greater miracle would not have happened. And we know that Jesus did stay for 2 days, and after that, we witnessed one of the greatest miracles that he performed on this earth. Some of us are like Mary and Martha. We pray to God, and it seems that Jesus did not wait just 2 days, maybe 2 months, maybe 2 years, maybe 20 years, maybe 30 years, and Jesus has not heard our prayer. It would make sense if you would come, if we would have answered our prayer, because everything that we prayed about makes sense. It should. He loves us, right? He would give us anything we ask for. And whatever we ask for is very reasonable too. And how come? How come Jesus did not answer our prayer? A lot of time we're stuck in that place, like verse 7. But verse 6, he stayed 2 days longer in the place where he was. I remember when 30 years ago, when I first became a Christian, my mom was not a Christian then. I started praying for my mom to become a Christian. I prayed for 1 year, I prayed for 2 years. It became 10 years and 20 years. And finally, when the Hakka Church was started 12 years ago, she became a Christian. It was almost 30 years of praying. And that prayer, that for me, that 2 days was actually almost 30 years. But we know and we believe that Jesus will answer our prayer. It's just his time is different from our time. And his time is better than our time. The greatest miracle was performed when Jesus waited for 2 days. Mary and Martha witnessed one of the greatest miracles because they had to wait for 2 more days. 2 days of agony. Some of us are praying. Some of us are praying for many, many years. And God seems to be silent. Jesus seemed to be staying in the place where he was for 2 more days. My encouragement to you today, my encouragement to you in this series is that have faith in him. Be patient. Know that he knows everything. And when he answers our prayer, we will witness, just like Mary and Martha has witnessed, the greatest miracle because he stayed in where he was for 2 days longer. So this is my encouragement to you. Thank you.